Hello, everybody. My name is Katherine Mayall, and I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives at the Center for Reproductive Rights. The Center for Reproductive Rights is the leading organization using the power of the law to advance access to reproductive health care across the world. Over the past 30 years, the Center has worked in partnership with local organizations in over 70 countries across 5 continents. Leveraging our unique focus on human rights, constitutional law, comparative law, and advancing law and policy, the Center's current strategic plan envisions that by 2030, over half the world's population will be living under stronger legal protections for their sexual and reproductive health and rights. Earlier this year, the Center was the leading litigant in the Dobbs case before the US Supreme Court, where we fought to keep in place the protections for abortion rights that stem from the 1974 decision of Roe v. Wade. In its decision, unfortunately, the US Supreme Court dismantled 50 years of abortion precedent, undoing all constitutional rights for abortion in the US and enabling states to pass restrictive abortion laws. In the wake of this decision, 13 states have banned abortion or severely restricted it, and we expect about 10 states to ban abortion in the coming months. As you can see on the map behind me, which you can visit by going to our After Roe Fell website, because of the geographic distribution of states that have banned abortion, people are forced to travel thousands of miles to access abortion care. The effects of this are not borne equally across society. Those who already face the greatest hurdles in accessing healthcare and abortion services, such as Black, Indigenous, and people of color, people with disabilities, young people, and people living in poverty, are the ones who are most likely to face the greatest hurdles in accessing abortion services. While some people will be able to scrape together the money to travel thousands of miles for abortion care, for many, the financial and logistical hurdles will simply be too high. In overturning Roe v. Wade, the US sent shockwaves across the world. The decision laid bare that even rights that have been entrenched in law for half a century can be eviscerated with just the stroke of a pen. The decision was quickly and widely condemned by human rights actors, governments, and advocates worldwide. And rightfully so, there were widespread fears that this would spark rollbacks in abortion rights in countries across the globe. The decision made clear that as abortion advocates, we must work to fortify abortion rights and that we can never take for granted the gains that we've made. And indeed, an unexpected consequence of the Dobbs decision has been the fortification of abortion rights in a number of countries worldwide. To name just a few, since June, a host of progressive reforms have swept across Europe, including San Marino and Finland, which recently adopted more liberal abortion laws. In addition, at least 4 European countries are currently in the works towards advancing constitutional protections for abortion rights. Additionally, the European Parliament adopted a resolution calling for abortion to be enshrined in the EU Charter of Fundamental Rights. In the wake of the Dobbs decision, the president of Sierra Leone voiced his support for a bill to liberalize the abortion law, a bill that had been languishing in Congress for years. Additionally, Israel expanded access to medication abortion and eased the process around accessing abortion services. And here in Thailand, where thousands of us are gathered for the International Conference on Family Planning, the law has recently been liberalized to enable people to access abortion services up to 20 weeks of pregnancy, a critical measure for those who face the greatest hurdles in accessing abortion care. The response to the Dobbs decision is a testament to the increasing global recognition that abortion is a critical aspect of individuals' fundamental human rights. It's also a reminder of how much of an outlier the US is when it comes to abortion law and policy. The Center for Reproductive Rights has been tracking abortion laws across the globe for nearly 30 years. Through this, we've created the World Abortion Laws Map, which is the definitive record of the legality of abortion in countries worldwide. You can see the map behind me. You can also visit the map by going to our website, worldabortionlaws.org. The map shows that over 60% of women of reproductive age worldwide live in countries where abortion is broadly legal. The remaining 40% live in countries where abortion legality is restricted. And in the past 25 years, nearly 60 countries have liberalized their abortion laws. This includes 26 countries that have reformed their laws to permit abortion on request, meaning that these countries have centered individual autonomy and decision-making in abortion access. Another 20 countries have overturned blanket bans on abortion, meaning that these countries previously outlawed abortion even when the woman's life or health was at risk. By contrast, the US is one of only 4 countries that have reduced the grounds for legal abortion in the past 30 years. And the other 4 countries are El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Poland. The situation in the US also stands in stark contrast to the green wave that has recently swept across Latin America. As thousands have mobilized in support of abortion rights, Argentina, Mexico, and Colombia have all overturned restrictive abortion laws and recognized that abortion is central to individual autonomy and self-determination. As we contend with the impacts of the Dobbs decision and work to rebuild stronger legal protections in the US, I find inspiration in particular from 2 of the very strong court decisions that led to liberalizations in Latin America. Earlier this year, the Colombian Constitutional Court recognized that abortion is a fundamental right and that people must have access to abortion care up to 24 weeks gestation. The Causa Justa movement, which worked in collaboration with over 200 organizations and leading feminists to achieve this historic victory, knew that in order to be successful before the Constitutional Court, they had to also win over the court of public opinion. They work to break down stigma around abortion, to galvanize support for abortion rights, and to encourage people to publicly support abortion. Additionally, at the end of 2021, the Mexican Supreme Court issued a groundbreaking ruling recognizing that denying people the right to safe and legal abortion is contrary to the right to reproductive autonomy, a right that the court has found is grounded in the Constitution. In its decision, the court looked to international and regional human rights law and the global progress around abortion rights and recognized that pregnant people must be the ultimate decision makers around whether or not to carry a pregnancy to term. The court also recognized that the criminalization of abortion is grounded in patriarchal norms and highlighted Mexico's obligation to ensure access to reproductive health information for all. The ruling requires that states not only permit abortion early in pregnancy, but make it available free of charge. The court's willingness to tackle affordability shows that abortion must not be legal on paper, but must also be accessible in practice. In contrast to the US Supreme Court, these decisions from Colombia and Mexico center human rights, reproductive autonomy, and gender equality. As we tackle the fallout of the Dobbs decision and the grave impacts it'll have on individuals' lives and health throughout the US, a global perspective reminds us that the US is truly in a tiny minority of countries that have rolled back abortion rights. There's a wealth of transformative progress from across the globe that advocates can and must look to inspire further change worldwide. Thank you.